On the 95, what investigators say he was doing on the freeway.
Plus, new disturbing details. The man accused of killing his family now making a shocking claim. Who he says killed his two daughters.
Take a look outside with me. We've got a warm Tuesday morning. Temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Pretty sunrise, but wind is going to be an issue. As a matter of fact, wind has already been an issue this morning.
But first, let's get to that breaking news we've been following for you all morning after an intense fire caused the roof of a home to just collapse.
Yeah, 13 Action News reporter Parker Collins just talked to the owner of the home. Parker, I know you found some unsettling information out.
Beth and Dana, the owner of the house just told me there could be a man who was inside when this fire started. There was a man and woman living here in the home behind me. Like you said, the homeowner is renting this house. You can see firefighters are out here. They're working the scene. Thankfully, the worst of it is out. Chapter 13 is fast and first over us now to give you some perspective just how bad this was. Firefighters were telling me when they first got here, these flames were shooting up through the roof, and right now, basically, the roof is gone. It has collapsed. Again, there were two people living inside this home, according to the homeowner. Right now, there could be a man who was inside there. They don't know where he is right now. They're looking for him. Firefighters were only able, I'd say about half an hour ago, to even go inside searching for people. That's how hot and dangerous this was for a long time. It put up a lot of smoke. All the neighbors are out right now, woken up by this. Firefighters are blocking the entire street because it took them a while to get a handle on this. Beth and Dana.
All right, Parker, thanks for an update on that breaking news.
All right, we've got Justin here, and we've been talking about the winds. I'm sure that didn't help when it came to this fire. It's been breezy out there this morning.
Probably not, yeah, with steady 10 to 15 mile per hour winds blowing from south to north all morning across most of the valley. Certainly not a help, that's for sure. Right now, we've got a 10 mile per hour breeze at McCarran, 15 mile per hour wind at Nellis Air Force Base. Take a look at temperatures. 13-hour forecast says we're going to jump from the mid-80s now into at least the low-end triple digits. The hottest part of the afternoon around 3, 4, 5 p.m. That is when I'm expecting temperatures to get up to 102 today. You may be wondering, what about tomorrow? About similar heat in your forecast tomorrow. So we'll hover right around 100 for the next couple of days. I mean, the wind is going to be an issue this morning and especially this afternoon. We'll check neighborhood by neighborhood wind gust forecast coming up in just a moment.
All right, thank you, Justin. I have an update to one of the crashes that we were tracking for you. It's on Decatur right near the 95. So the 95 is looking good, green in both directions on the map, but the crash itself is blocking the on-ramp. If you're at Decatur, you're not going to be able to hop on the 95 right here. Actually, it looks like troopers are actually taking away the flares right now. So Live Drive's been out here getting us the details. If you're heading out the door in the next couple of minutes, maybe you want to hop on at Valley View just to be on the safe side. And then once you get on the 95, things look great in both directions. And if you're heading into the Spaghetti Bowl, drive times are perfect from the west side of the valley. People still speeding, average speed 70 miles an hour right now.
Thanks, Yasmin. Now to some breaking news and update. The 95 northbound back open this morning. The freeway had to be shut down between Valley View and Rainbow for a deadly hit and run. Now, NHP telling us that someone jumped out of a vehicle on the freeway and then was running against the traffic when they were hit by a car. That driver took off and the person hit was pronounced dead at the scene. Now, this morning, the RJ reporting the victim was a teenager. Happened about 9 o'clock, but the freeway was closed for several hours, as you can imagine. Right now, officers do not have a description of the driver or the vehicle that took off, but a tragic situation there, and still obviously we'll work to find out why that person jumped out of the vehicle. We don't know. And another person hit by a car in the north part of town near Lake Mead and Bruce. Police on the scene telling our photographer that the woman in her 50s was crossing the street outside of a crosswalk when she was hit. Now, her injuries are life-threatening and she was taken to UMC. The driver stayed on the scene and did speak with police, so impairment doesn't seem to be a factor. More breaking news now, this time in downtown where Metro is searching for the person they say killed a man early this morning.
13 Action News reporter Nina Portion-Kula joins us live from the scene with more on the gruesome discovery. Nina?
Beth and Dana, we now know that victim is a Hispanic male who appears to be in his early 20s. And like you said, police still looking for the man who they believe is responsible for this crime. Now, let me step out so we can give you a better look at the scene right now. We have homicide detectives here. They've blocked off an alley just off of Sunrise Avenue near Fremont next to an apartment complex. Police got here just before 1 o'clock this morning after receiving calls from a resident saying they heard gunshots in the area. When police arrived, they saw the victim shot in the head inside a vehicle in that alley. And it appears that the victim, who was inside a white pickup truck, was parked in a spot right next to the apartment complex. And police say it looks like the vehicle was in reverse when the man was shot, and then the vehicle rolled back, hitting a wall. That man was pronounced dead at the scene. And as we mentioned earlier, police still looking for that suspect. If you believe that you may have seen or heard anything this morning, police are asking you to give them a call. Reporting live, Nina Pershukla, 13 Action News.
Nina, thank you. Now to those shocking claims made by the Colorado man police say killed his pregnant wife and 2 daughters. Investigators say Chris Watts told them his wife, Shanann, killed their 2 daughters. He told detectives he witnessed her actively strangling one of the girls while the other one lay sprawled out on her bed, already blue. He says that prompted him into a fit of rage, and then he strangled his wife. Court documents also show he was having an affair with a coworker. Now, initially he denied that to police. This morning, Shanann and the girls were killed. Chris says the couple had talked about separation. In an ABC News exclusive interview, the last person to see her alive says Chris had been acting strange lately.
He wasn't being the loving Chris that he normally was.
Investigators say Chris, who used to work at an oil company, killed his family at their home, then drove the bodies of his wife and daughters to a company property. Court documents show Shanann was found in a shallow grave and the 2 girls submerged in oil tanks. Chris Watt will be in court today to hear the charges against him for the first time. He's not yet entered a plea.
Well, right now, police in Nashville are trying to figure out if these 2 men are responsible for a slew of deadly shootings this month. Well, they arrested one of them yesterday and are still looking for the other. Police say that the pair are cold-blooded killers, but have not said if they are the same 2 men killing people across the city. Well, the arrest of one of them coming after a carjacking on Sunday night. Thankfully, the victim got away. Well, today, funerals will be held for the man and woman that were killed over the weekend.
New overnight, a man who authorities believe is the last known Nazi collaborator living here in the U.S. has been arrested, and he is finally being deported to Germany. ABC News was there as the man was removed from his home yesterday. His arrest came after a direct order from the president. Justice Department officials say he served as an armed guard at a death camp in Nazi-occupied Poland and then lied about it to American immigration officials after the war. He was tracked down in 2003 by federal authorities, and he was exposed back then. A New York judge ordered he be deported in 2005 after revoking his citizenship, but again, it is just happening now. Nitrous oxide, heroin, meth, cocaine, mushrooms. That's what Metro Police say they found in a tech billionaire's Las Vegas hotel room. Henry Nicholas III and his girlfriend, Ashley Fargo, were arrested at the Encore last month. Nicholas called security when he got locked out of his room. When guards helped him inside, they found Fargo unconscious, and the guards noticed 2 large travel cases. Hotel policy requires security to check those cases for weapons, and that's when they discovered nearly 128 grams of narcotics. Police were called, the couple was arrested. Neither admitted to police that they knew about the drugs, but police say they don't need them to talk. There's surveillance video showing the 2 entering the hotel with those cases. Now, an attorney for Nicholas says they're planning to do their own investigation.
Well, now trending online, the Video Music Awards. Cardi B hosted the show. Now, she was also the most nominated artist.
Yeah, there were a lot of big moments last night. Many talking about Logic and Ryan Tedder's performance. They collaborated on a song called One Day, which focused on the current immigration crisis, and they invited separated families up on stage as part of the performance.
Yeah, there was also a tribute to Aretha Franklin. We told you this was coming, but it's getting a lot of backlash this morning on social media, and many are bashing MTV for using Madonna, a white artist, to honor the Queen of Soul.
None of this would have happened, could have happened, without Our Lady of Soul. She led me to where I am today, and I know she
Well, critics are also saying that a majority of Madonna's speech was about her experience as a young artist and not about Aretha. So if you look at a lot of the tweets going around this morning and Facebook posts, people are going, Madonna, stop talking about yourself. This is about Aretha.
Yeah.
So just getting some backlash this morning. But you pick Madonna, you never know what you're going to get, right?
Well, that's that. There you go.
All right, other big winners of the night included Nicki Minaj got Best Hip Hop Artist, Ariana Grande got Best Pop Award, and Post Malone won Song of the Year.
Many would say Jennifer Lopez stole the show, though. She received the MTV Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. She dedicated the award to her twins.
So thank you, Max and Emmy. There's so much more to do, and I know in my heart that the future is even brighter than anything I could have accomplished up to now because of you.
It was Lopez's first time performing on the award show since 2001. I guess because she's been so busy dazzling fans here in Las Vegas.
I know. And then she's like an actress in shows and movies. I don't know how she keeps up with it all, but good for her. She's deserving of it.
Yeah, she is. It's 6:10. Good morning, Las Vegas.
An incredible story of survival after a woman goes overboard on a cruise ship and spends 10 days at sea. Wow. Plus,
there might be somebody out there that they're like, oh, I really need the money, and they're gonna get duped.
A warning from Contact 13. If it sounds too good to be true, probably is. How a local mom wanting to make some extra cash was almost duped into a pricey scam.
and later ditching degrees, the big name companies that no longer require a college education. Justin?
We're ditching 6 degrees this afternoon with respect to your high temperature. This is a stunning sunrise happening right now on the east side of the valley. There are going to be some nuisance winds as we make it through your Tuesday. Afternoon gusts of about 35 miles per hour are back in the picture. We'll time out when storms are possible with the 7-day planner.
And an update to this crash. This is Decatur in the 95. The on-ramp is back open. Things looking good all over the valley right now.
Who doesn't like a little extra cash in your pocket? That's always nice, right? Well, you may have come across those offers to be a secret shopper. Some of them are legit, but one Las Vegas woman was nearly duped by one opportunity that proved too good to be true. This morning, 13 consumer advocate Trisha Keene has a warning for you.
It seems pretty legitimate.
Melissa DiCello says it's an offer she couldn't refuse. She recently received an email from Smith's about a position as a secret shopper.
Being a stay-at-home mom, I was like, I like having that little bit of cash in my wallet.
So she sent them her information, and they sent a package along with a check.
The check was for $2,850, and it says, congratulations on your achievement.
Melissa was told to keep $400 for herself. She was instructed to use the rest to buy an eBay gift card from her local Smith's or from a list of competitors.
I had to go to the store. I had to let them know what the name of the store was, the address of the store, the date and time that I visited the store.
But when Melissa told her mom about her new job, her mom decided to do a quick online search.
So she puts the routing number in and she's like, that's not the same routing number for this bank.
That's when Melissa realized the check is a fake. So she reached out to 13 Action News, hoping to warn others.
There might be somebody out there that they're like, oh, I really need the money, and they're gonna get duped.
Contact 13 reached out to Smith's, and they confirm it's a scam. In a statement, they warn customers should contact a local store to verify any possibly fraudulent activity. And when we took a look at the check for ourselves, we were able to uncover hidden void marks.
I really just didn't think that it was a scam at first.
To avoid being a victim, the Southern Nevada Better Business Bureau says be suspicious of anyone willing to pay you up front.
Nobody is going to pay you in advance for services not rendered.
And if you think an early paycheck is real, take the proper steps to protect yourself.
Don't deposit that check. Take it to your bank and ask them to confirm if it is a valid check or not.
Remember, if a check is fake, you'll be expected to replace any money you spent. The Contact 13 bottom line, you can't be too safe.
Have to do your research first before you do any business with any company.
For Contact 13, I'm Trisha Keene.
If you have been the target of a similar scam, you can report it to the Federal Trade Commission and the Better Business Bureau. We have more information on how to do that on our website, ktnv.com.
Well, residents in Wisconsin are hoping to get some relief from the rain today after heavy rain caused some major flooding. Look at that video. In Madison, Wisconsin, up to 11 inches of rain fell in 8 hours. Drivers were stranded in flooded streets. Roads were completely covered by water. But many people were forced to wait out the rain and shelter inside their homes or other businesses.
I thought we could make it through there, but it didn't look like we could because we're driving a very low-riding vehicle. But looking at that, I'm glad we didn't.
Well, officials had to send out a warning to let people know to avoid trying to drive through those flooded roadways. All right, Justin, what's going on in Seattle?
Crazy thick wildfire smoke from British Columbia has been spilling down in the Pacific Northwest. Look at this tweet. This on top is an image that shows, all right, Seattle skyline, there's a Space Needle, some clouds. On the bottom is what that same view looked like yesterday. The bottom image is an actual picture of what it looked like in Seattle. And here's one more tweet from yesterday. They even had some ash falling from the sky in Seattle. So if you've got friends or family in the Pacific Northwest, air quality warnings in place for that whole corner of the country. We've been kind of lucky down here in southern Nevada. We haven't even had any wispy wildfire smoke the last couple of days. We are looking though at a lot of wind, 10 to 20 mile per hour gusts, actually 10 to 20 mile per hour steady winds. The gusts will be a little stronger than that this morning, some 25 mile per hour gusts. This afternoon, some 35 mile per hour gusts, and they will linger on into the evening. If that sounds familiar, it's the exact same wind forecast that you were dealing with yesterday. So that nuisance wind yesterday is still going to be a thing today. Not quite as hot today, though, as it was yesterday. Early this morning in Phoenix, especially on the east side of Phoenix, they are dealing with some big-time thunderstorms. Most of the storms are going to be concentrated in Arizona and move up toward Utah, where there's a flash flood watch for parts of Utah. We don't have any of those watches or warnings to pass along. If we were to catch a shower or a storm this afternoon, it would be very isolated. It would be very quick moving, zipping to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour, which means no flooding threat. The only thing we'll have to look for this afternoon, the potential for a quick moving heavy downpour, mainly on the east side of the valley. Allergy forecast, medium pollen levels today, tomorrow, as well as Thursday. It's the same stuff floating around in the sky, grasses, chenopod's, and ragweed. So if you've got allergies, not going to get much better over the next few days. The weather, though, will improve dramatically. Tomorrow we'll lose some of the wind, so a little more tolerable tomorrow. It'll get less humid, and with highs close to 100 and less humidity in place, Yasmin, should be a nice stretch from midweek through Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend.
I like that. Thank you, Justin. New traffic issue to warn you about. It's on the west side of the valley. The traffic signals are out right near Sahara and the 215, so right near downtown Summerlin. Chopper 13's over the area, so you can see flashing red lights in all directions out here. This means it's a four-way stop, so just a little bit of a slowdown if you are going to take Sahara and hop on the 215 this morning. We do also have an update to that crash on the resort corridor, northbound 15 near Russell. The vehicles involved are gone. We do still have one trooper still out here, some flashing lights, but overall should not slow you down in that northbound direction. Your slowdowns in the southbound direction, as it tends to be right around this time of morning. 10 minutes heading south, going an average speed of 47 miles an hour.
Thank you, Yasmin. It's 6:20.
CCSD is looking for ways to increase funding for schools across the valley. The proposal teachers have for state lawmakers.
And later, dating in the 21st century. How one woman got a sea of men to show up for a date.
Well, Russian hackers who tried to influence the 2016 presidential election are now targeting U.S. political groups ahead of November's midterms. Microsoft says that a hacking group tied to the Russian government tried to spoof two conservative U.S. organizations, the Hudson Institute and the International Republican Institute. Both groups have been critical of Moscow. There's no sign the hackers were successful. And the Trump administration will formally announce a new EPA rollback on coal pollution regulations today. The move is designed to help coal-burning plants compete with natural gas and other cleaner energy sources. It overturns Obama-era environmental rules on power plant emissions. The public will have 60 days to submit comments before the rule is finalized. And the federal judge in Seattle will hear arguments today on whether a Texas company can post blueprints for 3D printable plastic guns on the internet. The U.S. District Judge had issued a temporary restraining order to stop the release last month. 19 states and the District of Columbia want to make that order permanent. Second Amendment supporters say it's just too late. That, despite the ruling, plans are already readily available.
A woman who spent 10 hours stranded at sea is alive this morning after she was rescued by the Coast Guard.
I fell off the back of the Norwegian Star. And I was in the water for 10 hours. So these wonderful guys rescued me.
Is she incredibly calm, or is it just me?
She's
wow.
Relieved to be alive.
Relieved
right?
to be alive, that's right. Kay says she was on a cruise ship headed to Venice over the weekend when she fell off the boat near Croatia. The cruise ship alerted the Coast Guard. They launched an all-out search, and guess what? 10 hours later, they spotted her swimming in the middle of the Adriatic Sea. Sounds unbelievable, but apparently is not the first for the cruise line. Last month, a crew member fell overboard and had to be rescued by another ship 22 hours later.
Oh my goodness. Well, after swimming for 10 days in the Adriatic Sea, I guess you could put someone in a cardboard box and they'd be happy, right?
Right. I think
so
you're probably right.
Probably so relieved. All right.
Well, as the Clark County School District looks to find ways to increase school funding, teachers have a proposal for state lawmakers: raise school taxes.
Yeah, right now schools cannot raise their own taxes, but lawmakers could pass a bill in 2019 that would change that. According to a report from the Clark County Education Association, the money would be a combination of revenue sources and would need to be approved by the Clark County Commission or voters. The Nevada Blind Children's Foundation has a new learning center, and check it out. The 12,000 square foot center will offer after-school homework help, tutoring for blind-specific skills like learning Braille, and it will open a preschool by the fall of 2019. Nevada is one of 7 states that does not currently have a school for blind kids.
A big change for several top companies: Google, Apple, IBM, all announcing job candidates no longer need a college degree.
Yeah, but it's not just them. Dozens of companies are jumping on this new trend. The move is seen as an effort to improve diversity and make it easier for people who did not take traditional college paths, but still have the skill set maybe to be hired.
Pretty cool idea, but I will say this: there is something that comes with the maturity of a college education.
Right.
You know, just living a little more life before you jump into the workforce. They're
Yeah.
going to have a bunch of 17-year-olds running the place.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
It opens up the pool of people.
It does. I bet they're all talented for sure. Well, good morning, Las Vegas. It's 6:27.
The true meaning of Vegas Strong, a survivor of the 1 October shooting, finally getting to go home. Plus,
We got to get them out.
Dramatic new video showing several Good Samaritans rushing to help a mother and son trapped inside a sinking truck.
And firefighters are turning this house upside down now that the flames are out. I just spoke with officials about how the search is going.
Now on Good Morning Las Vegas.
Right now at 6:30, a big bust at a popular hotel near the Strip has many of you talking online. What detectives uncovered and what they called a gang party.
and so long, Silent Sam, a message from protesters overnight after they knocked down a prominent Confederate statue.
And a woman gets dozens of men to show up for the same date, pitting them against each other in a competition. The stunt has a lot of people talking online.
Wow.
We're going to show that to you. But first, we want to get to that breaking news we've been following for you all morning. We have now learned one person is unaccounted for after a house fire and a roof collapse.
Yeah, 13 Action News reporter Parker Collins has been on this story all morning, and I know you just talked to the owner of the home, right, Parker?
That's right, Beth and Dana, but first I want you to see just what is happening behind me. Firefighters are searching this house very thoroughly, up and down, leaving nothing unturned, going through the garage, through every part of it, tossing stuff out, not only making sure this fire is completely out, but like you said, the homeowner's telling me there's one man who is living here. They're not sure where he is right now, and that's worrying a lot of people. Chopper 13 is fast and first over us now to let you know how bad this was, because the roof collapsed because of this fire. That's how bad it got. Those flames were shooting up through it for probably about an hour before firefighters even got here to the scene. So it's amazing that it didn't spread to any of the other nearby homes that are just, I'd say, a few feet away. We're not seeing smoke or flames anymore, but they are still putting water on it at this moment. And the homeowners, well, at this point, all they can do is really pray.
You know, how I feel, I hadn't really thought about that. You know, we're going to leave it in the hands of the Lord, and that's all you can do at this point.
I can at least say that no injuries have been reported thus far. And I've actually seen a few firefighters leave the scene, so that's good news. It's under control. We're not seeing the smoke and flames we were seeing, Beth and Dana.
Yeah, Parker, okay, we can only obviously pray that maybe that person wasn't home.
Yeah, and it does look like the fire ripped through there very quickly. As you pointed out earlier, the wind may have been a factor, Justin, because we're still dealing with those breezes.
Yeah, we've got some 5 to 15 mile per hour steady breezes around the valley right now, so that certainly did not help. Temperatures are going to start in the upper 80s. Here's your 13-hour forecast, which takes us right up until 7 p.m. as the sun gets lower in the western sky. We'll drop back down to the 90s. A big temperature difference, though. Yesterday it was 108. Today we're only forecasting 102, so that's a 6-degree drop. You may be curious, what about tomorrow? Will we hold on to this kind of tolerable warmth? Yes, we will. Temperatures today and tomorrow pretty close to 100 degrees. Wind, yeah, it's still out there right now. A 10-mile-per-hour wind at McCarran, 13-mile-per-hour breeze at the Henderson Executive Airport. We'll get into the hour-by-hour gust forecast because just like yesterday, if you're doing anything outside this afternoon, you can't help but notice those strong winds.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Justin. New problem spot to warn you about. We have a crash in the southwest part of the valley, right near Fort Apache and Warm Springs. Not slowing things down just yet. We'll keep an eye on it, but just being reported within the last couple of seconds. We do still have the traffic signals out at Sahara and the 215. Live look, you can see all those flashing red lights, but you can also see very, very light traffic out here this morning. So if you are going to take Sahara to hop on the 215, just keep in mind this is a 4-way stop, but really light traffic, so things are looking good. And then once you get on the 215 from the west side of the valley, traffic is perfect, 66 miles an hour on average. A little slowdown on the resort corridor this morning, but 10 minutes heading south, nothing slower than we're used to.
All right, thanks so much, Yasmin. Back here at home, we are now getting a look at the 9 people arrested for what police are calling a large gang party bust at the Rio early Sunday morning. Police say that 2 of these suspects are facing 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon. The other 7 had active arrest warrants unrelated to the incident. Now, one of the victims of the 1 October shooting is back home. Some good news here. After being treated for her injuries over on the East Coast, Tina Frost was shot in her right eye. We've talked about her before. This was obviously during the attack that night. She was attending the Route 91 festival with her boyfriend. Now, according to her GoFundMe page, Frost returned home to San Diego earlier this month.
This was the scene in North Carolina overnight after protesters knocked down a Confederate statue. Silent Sam is located on the University of Chapel Hill's campus. The statue was set to be a topic of discussion during a state meeting tomorrow, but several students, faculty, and residents have stated before that they want that statue down.
It's unacceptable, it's inappropriate, and our university needs to stand up.
Well, it looks like the students took care of it. Last year, the governor of North Carolina called for the removal of Confederate monuments, asking the state to repeal a law that prevents the government from being allowed to do so. Today marks the first day of classes at UNC.
All right, we have some breaking news. A lot of people have been following this story, and authorities do believe now that they have found the body of missing Iowa student Molly Tibbetts. Right now, there are no details about where the body was found or if it has been positively identified. But the 20-year-old went missing back on July 18th. Yeah, it's been that long already, after going for a jog. We're going to, of course, continue to follow this story and bring you any updates, but we have heard they have found a body.
We got to get them out.
Check out this amazing rescue caught on camera in Long Beach. Good Samaritans rushed to help a mom and her son and their dog from a truck that crashed into the water and was rapidly sinking. It happened Saturday. The rescue now going viral.
Surveillance video from the dock shows what happened, and you can see the truck in the parking spot. Then it suddenly goes right through the railing and into the water. And the mom, her son, the dog, they all got out of the water safely. Wow.
Jurors in the Paul Manafort trial asked to extend their deliberations for another day as they continue to comb through evidence.
Prosecutors claim Manafort hid millions of dollars from the IRS and defrauded banks into loaning him more. They say he even stored millions in overseas accounts.
This morning, Valley parents are still reacting to a new study showing Nevada has the largest average class sizes in the nation. This has been an issue here in Southern Nevada even before the major budget cuts at CCSD. Some high schools reporting up to 50 students in one class. New Superintendent Jesus Jara says he's asked his staff to work on the issue.
Dozens of you have commented about this on our Facebook page, offering a variety of opinions, like you always do.
Yeah, well, Justin Stockwell wrote in part, "We pulled our daughter out to be homeschooled. Problem solved. She was learning nothing there. Shameful."
While Jennifer Miller says in part, parents need to stop wasting comments on social media. Go to the board meetings. We really need tons of parent support to make a difference.
Well, just like all of you, we want better for our children, but we need your help. Our goal is to raise the bar on education in Southern Nevada. And as part of our commitment, we're forming an advisory committee to help us reach that goal. We want community leaders, teachers, parents, anybody else whose input would be helpful to be a part of this committee. Send an email to raisingthebar@ktnv.com if you're interested. Just be sure to include your name and phone number.
Well, if you live or travel through Henderson often, you may want to head to a public meeting tomorrow. NDOT officials plan to take comments and answer questions about the plans to repaint the lanes along sections of the 95 interchange at the 215 Beltway, as well as the Gibson Road off-ramp. Now, according to the Review Journal, the meeting's set for tomorrow evening from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Henderson Convention Center. If you cannot make it, it will also be streamed live on NDOT's Facebook page, so there's an option for you. Hey, there's a new way to show that you're a fan of the Golden Knights. Credit One Bank now has a Vegas Golden Knights themed credit card.
It was gonna happen eventually, right? Here's what they look like. There are 3 different designs. Credit One Bank is a sponsor of the Knights and will now offer the team's official card. The cards look great, but they also get you some exclusive offers around town. The bank plans to announce the perks ahead of the start of the upcoming NHL season, but there may be some incentive for you if, you want to rack up rewards of some kind.
Right.
Well, the Little League World Series is underway in Pennsylvania. Teams from all over the world are competing.
Yeah, we love this guy. One player already won the hearts of millions after giving a memorable introduction.
Hi, my name's Alfred D'Elia. At home they call me Big Al, and I hit dingers.
Sure does. After telling the world about hitting home runs, Big Al has become quite popular. He has appeared on SportsCenter already and ABC's Jimmy Kimmel.
Who gave you the nickname Big Al?
My dad and my grandpa. My grandpa was Big Al. My dad was Little Al, but now I'm Big Al.
Okay, it's like a back and forth ping pong thing, right? Even though Al's team has been eliminated from the World Series, the 12-year-old has made fans out of the MLB players, spotted sitting in a game with Phillies player Reese Hoskins as well. But I always find it funny when Jimmy Kimmel asks questions. So.
Yeah, and Big Al it's right. It's his voice, it's his personality, it's everything. No wonder America loves him. I hope it's not the last of him we've seen. Well, now to the Tinder prank that has so many people talking.
Yeah, a sea of men waiting, standing around in New York City, all for one woman.
Everyone here today was brought here to be on a date with me.
Well, self-described actress, model, and singer Natasha Aponte swiped right on all these men. She chatted with them online. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Then she told all of them to meet her in Union Square. Well, she put them through another series of tests, push-ups, sprinting, and finally forcing the men to tell her why they wanted to date her before choosing her date. Aponte pulling off the whole stunt with the help of Rob Bliss, the man behind many different viral videos.
And GMA will have more on this coming up at 7 a.m. Who has the time for that?
Nobody. All right, 6:40. Why one airline says that they are raising their boarding fees.
Plus, wild police chase caught from inside the police cruiser after a suspect takes off with the car. You're not going to miss how this one ends.
And don't you just wish you could take back that sent email like, oh, I shouldn't have sent that? Well, the company, we'll tell you about them, they're testing out that feature to kind of take it back.
You got my attention, Dana. We are looking at some 10-mile-per-hour breezes from the southwest this morning. Now, by lunchtime, steady 15 to 20-mile-per-hour winds, and this afternoon, just as windy as yesterday. 35-mile-per-hour gusts are a distinct possibility. I'll time out storm chances, and I'll detail one thing about the 7-day planner that you are going to love. That's next.
Good Tuesday morning to you. Coming up on GMA, the terrifying story of a woman attacked and killed by an alligator while walking her dog. We'll have new details in this story this morning, and it's all coming up only on Good Morning America.
Morning to you, Las Vegas. 6:45. We are dry this morning. I wanted to let you know that we could catch a quick moving shower. It'd be very isolated, but that's a possibility around lunchtime. A little more likely this afternoon. The favored location for passing thunderstorms is going to be just east of the valley out toward Lake Mead. Widespread storms in Arizona and Utah today. Yasmin, doesn't look like a lot of neighborhoods here in Las Vegas will have some downpours. Everyone gets wind, though. Also, everyone has a big cool down. We'll detail how long pleasant temperatures will linger with the 7-day.
All right, thank you, Justin. I have an update to the crash that we're tracking for you in the southwest part of the valley. Fort Apache, right near Warm Springs. We now have an update to what's going on out here thanks to Chopper 13. Over the crash, we did just have the fire department here just a couple of minutes ago. The fire department's gone, but the ambulance still out here and 2 of the vehicles involved right in the middle of the intersection. So as far as your morning commute's concerned, we are seeing a slowdown, a couple of lanes blocked off, mostly in the southbound direction. So that's a street that you're definitely going to want to avoid, southbound Fort Apache. I've been checking your alternates. Durango looks like a great option right now.
All right, thanks, Yasmin. Well, as a hurricane swirls off the coast of Hawaii, the Kilauea volcano is still erupting, and there's some new drone video captured by scientists that shows smoke still billowing from one of the volcano's fissures. The video was taken last Friday, and counties in the state are now asking for more help with recovery efforts. Right now, officials predict it will cost about $680 million to rebuild, provide homes to the displaced, and relocate farmers. The last eruption on Kilauea started back in May.
This morning, we have dash cam video showing the moment a suspect in Ohio steals a patrol car after he realizes he's going to jail.
Nothing's going to happen when you let me out.
Well, they shouldn't have believed him, because when they let him out, the suspect pushed his way out, threw punches, got back in, and drove the patrol car away. Police chased him, with the pursuit hitting up to 100 miles per hour. The suspect then spins out and is hit by an officer, but he takes off again. Eventually, he lands in a ditch, and police move in.
No! Get away from me! Stay away from me!
The suspect was originally arrested in connection with a breaking and entering case, but he's got a lot more charges to face now.
Well, actress Alyssa Milano is rallying against President Trump's Supreme Court nominee.
The fact that 45 years after Roe v. Wade was passed and made the law of the land, that we are having this conversation right now. It's about just your...
The actress making that statement here in Las Vegas as part of the Rise Up for Roe tour. The 10-city program is in opposition to Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. Organizers are concerned if he is appointed, he would overturn the landmark Roe v. Wade case on abortion. Senate hearings on the nomination are just over 2 weeks away.
We know it only is going to take just a couple of votes to swing this nomination and to say, no, you have to go back to the drawing board.
Recent polls show 3/4 of Republicans support Kavanaugh, while 2/3 of Democrats do not want him on the Supreme Court.
Now to a story you asked us to investigate. A Valley mom says her daughter's bus to a magnet school has been a no-show or late every day since the beginning of the school year. Megan Monty says so far she can juggle to get her 11-year-old daughter to school, but she's going back to work soon and needs the bus to be reliable. Monty's daughter is supposed to get picked up at Canyon Springs High School near Alexandra North 5th and then bused to Lead STEM Academy, but so far that plan hasn't worked. Megan says the CCSD Transportation Department admits they just don't have enough drivers.
They said they spoke to the supervisor of the bus route and that they don't have a permanent driver for this bus route.
A CCSD spokesperson tells us staffing remains the challenge. They currently have about 60 driver positions open.
Have you ever sent an email, then you regretted it? Well, Gmail has a feature to fix that, and it's coming to the Gmail mobile app. The undo send feature works by implementing a time delay on sent emails to give you a 10-second buffer to take it back. The Verge reports you potentially won't see the feature until you update your or restart your phone there in your Gmail app, so keep that in mind. But you know when that would work really well, Justin, Bruce, is when I reply to all by mistake in the newsroom.
Oh, yeah.
And then I want to take it back.
Typo or whatever. Yeah, that would be good. Although if you're replying all, maybe trying to unsend the email, it could cause more problems, I think. We are looking at a few clouds this morning, kind of partly cloudy today. Temperatures, this is actually, for the first time in a couple of months, a good part of the forecast. Excuse me, I'm even getting choked up because highs will be close to average. A single tear dripped down his cheek. Highs close to 100 the rest of this week. Doesn't that sound nice after a summer full of 110, 115 type days? Nice to be closer to 100. The rub, though, is that we'll have some wind out there. 10 to 20 mile per hour steady winds from the south this morning, from the southwest this afternoon. 13-hour wind forecast there was showcasing gusts of 20 to 35 miles per hour during the day. It's 89 right now at McCarran, 85 in Anthem. We've got temperatures this afternoon that will be pretty close to average, which means 102 in Henderson and 101 in North Las Vegas. So temperatures near 90 through the 8 o'clock hour. And the warm up this morning toward lunchtime will not be nearly as swift as it was yesterday. We were well into the triple digits yesterday at lunchtime. Today should be 98 during the middle of the day, up to that high of 102 by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Here's Futurecast. 1 or 2 isolated showers possible midday through the afternoon, mainly on the east side of the valley. We'll keep temperatures close to 100 the rest of the week, and Yasmin, without much humidity the rest of the week, should be very, very pleasant.
That's a good looking forecast. Thank you, Justin. A few new crashes I want to warn you about, starting off with the far north part of the valley. We have a crash on the 215 right near Losi. You can see a slowdown, a pretty big slowdown if you're heading in that eastbound direction. Once you pass Losi, everything else looks good on the 215 though. Other crashes on Oki and Valley View. Oki's looking all right, and so is Valley View, but a little bit of a slowdown out here. If you did want to avoid it, I would not take Sahara, seeing a big slowdown on Sahara this morning. And your last crash is Fort Apache and Warm Springs. We showed you the view from Chopper 13 just a couple of minutes ago. Well, now we have live drive out here. The vehicles involved still in the middle of the intersection, and so is the ambulance. So again, most of your slowdown is on Fort Apache. I would just avoid that one. El Capitan and Durango both like good options. So a few problem spots around the valley. Also wanted to show you, we are seeing a little slowdown on the resort corridor. Average speed 42 miles an hour right now.
Thanks so much, Yasmin. Before we head out the door and you head out the door, we have been following several breaking news stories. It's been a busy morning.
It has. A person unaccounted for after a house fire in the valley. What we just learned from firefighters. An update now on that breaking news we've been following all morning long.
Yeah, we learned the wind made it harder for firefighters to put out a house fire right near Cheyenne and Torrey Pines. We've got a live picture right now. A look at the damage from the ground and the fire trucks still on scene. They've also put up some yellow tape now.
And let's take a look from Chopper 13. Wow, you can see the entire house is gutted. The roof collapsed. There's just nothing left of this home. The fire broke out after 3 o'clock this morning, and the intense flames just forced that roof to collapse. Firefighters couldn't get into the building. It was just too hot and too dangerous for them. We did speak with the homeowner, who says a man who was renting the property may have been inside, but fire officials have not confirmed that yet. We are hoping that everyone survived this one. Yasmin?
We are tracking a couple of crashes you need to know about before you head out the door. Up in the north part of the valley, still seeing a slowdown eastbound 215 near Losi. As soon as you get past Losi, that slowdown clears up, but also seeing a little slowdown a little farther in the westbound direction, not related to this crash. Also, Oki and Valley View, we do still have that crash out there in Chopper 13 over the area. Just to let you know exactly what's going on, you can see the fire department's out here and a couple of lanes blocked off. It looks like Oki is mostly going to be affected. Valley View is looking good, but again, a couple of lanes of Oki blocked off right now, Justin.
Thanks, Yasmin. Still a bit breezy outside this morning. Some 15 mile per hour morning winds could gust to 35 miles per hour this afternoon. The heat, it's out there. Average heat, which means a high of around 102 today. Isolated storm chance after lunchtime. But all in all, we're about to enter into a pretty decent stretch of weather, less humidity, less intense heat, a little less wind by Thursday and Friday. So looking good.
What's that we see on Monday? Double digits.
Whoa, 99.
Yeah.
Don't forget your vest, Dana. I know you get cold when it's that chilly.
It's chilly a little bit.
Well done, Las Vegas. We've made it maybe through the worst of the heat this summer.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Have a great day, everyone.